Welcome everybody to today's HLA product showcase featuring Energous. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Amanda Watson and I'm the meeting planner for HLAA and your host today. Today's presentation is being recorded and will be available for playback at a later date on the HLA website, hearingloss.org. This is a disclaimer that HLAA does not endorse the product featured in this webinar. HLAA is providing an educational opportunity to learn about this product and how it could benefit people with hearing loss. Now I'll give you some technical tips. To see captions on this webinar, you will need to click on the CC icon and click on Show Subtitle. You can change the font size in subtitle settings. Chat is available for technical issues and panelists only. We would like you to participate by using the Q&A icon to ask questions. We will be using this to facilitate the questions and answers after the presentation. If you've joined by computer, the presentation should be in side-by-side mode. Slides are on the left and panelists are on the right in gallery view. You can change the size of your side-by-side view by hovering between the two screens and moving the gray bar to adjust to your desired size. If you've joined by mobile device or phone, your view may be different and you may have to scroll between views to the desired one. Our presenter today is Niraj Sahajpal, who is the Senior Vice President of Marketing and Business Development and is responsible for corporate strategy, product management, and driving customer and strategic partner engagement at Energous. Niraj is also joined by his associate, Gordon Bell, who will do the demonstration of the product, and he'll help facilitate questions and answers at the end of the demonstration. I've stopped my screen share now, and Niraj, you can go ahead and start your screen share and your presentation.
Thanks, Amanda, and thanks, HLA, for giving us this opportunity to showcase what is new, what are the new technology that are coming in the area of wireless charging. Let me just go into the presentation mode. Okay, Amanda, can you see my slides? Hi, Amanda,
Yes.
Can you see me? Okay,
yes,
great.
You are all set.
Okay, thank you. So hello, everyone, and welcome to the Energous product showcase. What we're going to talk about is the advancement that's happening in the hearing aid market, and especially on the charging side. As you are very familiar with it today, the devices that you use today, most of them require battery changes on a regular basis. Newer devices are coming up with wireless charging features. Some of them are POGO pin contact based, or some of them have the advanced technologies like wireless charging. Energous is also working to enable next generation of wireless charging solutions for this market. I'm going to showcase that. We're also going to show you a use case demo. My partner, Gordon Bell, will be showing you how this technology works in a hearing aid device, behind the ear hearing aid device. And we encourage you to ask any question you may have regarding the technology or the use case, and what we see is going to come over the years. Okay, so a brief note on Energous. Energous is a early stage company based out of San Jose, California. We started about 2012, but really took shape in 2014. We are the developer of WATEP, which is the RF, which is the radio frequency based wireless charging technology. In simplistic way, imagine that you receive your Wi-Fi through an antenna, and then your router sends the data through an antenna. We use the antenna to antenna transfer to provide the power or charging to the battery. Okay. So let me just give you a brief introduction to what does wireless charging 2.0 means. Uh, I assume you're quite familiar with wireless charging 1.0 use case, where you have to keep your phone tightly coupled to the the pad down for the charger. That requires very precise positioning. That means it's very limited to devices which are either flat or can handle precise positioning. But when we start talking about our technology to a lot of interested consumer about 6 years back, what we noticed was there are devices, especially like hearing aid, which are smaller in size. They're not very plain in surface. Most of them, in fact, the in-the-ear devices are almost the replica of your inside of your ear. So the coil-based technology, which is what the current Qi technology is not the right fit. Similar to hearing aid, there are devices like watches, bigger headsets, glasses, or any kind of odd-shaped device or smaller devices which cannot take a coil and which cannot really afford to have a very fixed positioning. So that's what we are trying to do. The wireless charging 2.0, which uses the RF technology at 900 megahertz, it sends the power in the air. We are showing a use case which we call Power Hub use case. So imagine your smart speaker, your automotive console, and all those areas where you can send the power to 15 centimeter or 10 centimeters, and then you can charge the device. Energous claim to fame is that it's the first company in the United States to have the FCC approval for charging at a distance, where we have got an approval for a monitor charging keyboard and mice within 1 feet. The Power Hub technology, which we introduced earlier last year, and that is being integrated into many of these devices. So in future, you're going to see your smart speaker, your gaming console will be able to provide charge to various kind of accessories. So our vision with which we have started Energous is to have the wireless charging freedom the same way you have the freedom of connecting using Wi-Fi today. We are working in 11 segments today, all the way from hearing aid to hearable to different kind of medical devices, implant and surgical. And then we are also working on the enterprise, where devices can charge all kind of sensors in the building, and all the way going to retail, where the electronic shelf labels can be charged at a distance, and then robotic and drones in the area of military and the industrial. So the landscape in front of us, what the use case looks like, are pretty diverse, and we are very, very focused on establishing the ecosystem. Our vision is that at some point in time, you will only have your receiver device or your device with you, and you will have these chargers available all around you in your home, place you work, or cars you drive, and then you should be able to charge them as you please. Okay, so let's just talk about hearing aid. So it's very interesting. Means like I was very, very new to this hearing aid as a product about 6 years back, and I started to look into more. And then I noticed that some of my friends uses this device, and even my family members also use this device. And I saw their struggle firsthand. I noticed that first of all, they had to change their batteries on a regular basis, and that's pretty challenging, especially if the dexterity, because of other reasons, is not that great. Trying to change a small battery in a smaller device like behind the ear or the inside the ear is pretty challenging. So at that point, we thought, what if you never have to change the batteries? You drop your device into a cup or bowl or a surface next to where you sleep, and by the time you wake up 4 or 5 hours later, your device is fully charged. Not only it is fully charged, it is also being managed that you don't want to charge your battery to 100% every day so that the life of the battery can be increased. And you can always rest assured that when you wake up in the morning, your device will be charged. These were the things that really drove us toward providing the solution for this market. In fact, Energous focused on hearing aid market first. we thought that there is a clear utility that our technology can enable a significant amount of our community. And that's what we have been doing. We have been working with the tier one hearing aid manufacturers. And then we have announced a couple of customers who have already gone through the process of production and the qualification and the regulatory approvals. They are available, or they're going to be available in few months. Okay, so let's just talk about how does this technology work and what are the benefits as you would see. As I mentioned, changing the battery has been a big problem. You have to open the door, try to put a battery, and then close the door on a regular basis. That can be very, very challenging. But imagine you don't have to. It's hermetically sealed. That means it does not have all kind of issues which can come with dirt or moisture. And imagine if you can carry a case where you can place your device, and it is when you're not using it, and it is being charged also. Since 2015, hearing aid manufacturers have introduced wireless charging where devices are closed. You don't need to change the battery. But the challenge with them is, this is one of the devices I'm showing here. You still have to precisely place the device. And if you have a dexterity challenges, which is quite normal, then trying to put that device inside the small area, it can be very challenging. So we wanted to give a free form of charging, and that's what we are working on. I'm going to show you some example of what devices our customers are bringing to the market, and you start to realize the benefit of that. So with our technology, which is RF based, no precise positioning is required, like first generation of wireless charging. And you don't need to struggle towards pogo pins or USB connectors or even fixed device as I'm showing in this diagram. Once everything is closed and the charging is pretty reliable, the trips for the maintenance are reduced significantly. There, and we have heard the experience that the battery door break because of the usage and the other areas. So that you don't have to worry about that. All these devices are connected through software to an app. You can actually check on your phone how much battery life is left so that you can plan your day better. And then you never have to worry about whether the device will not be charged. The features are built in. When you drop your device in the night before you sleep, it'll either tell you that there is a problem in the charging, or it'll basically will charge while you're sleeping. And when you get up, you can be rest assured your device is ready to go. Okay. So these are the two current products that are available. Delight Oasis RC OTC hearing aid is available on Amazon, and then you can also order directly to the company. Delight is based out of Korea, and these are fixed charging time charger. They don't use BLE, Bluetooth Low Energy. And then New Sound Primo. This is a very interesting product. Not only it allows you to charge the device, but it also cleans up using the UV light. So the use case is that you could see this behind the ear device. They can be placed anywhere in this area. That's the level of freedom we are talking about. And with that gives so much of flexibility on how you use this device. And if you like to provide the UV cleaning, you can close this door and then you can turn on the UV. So as you can see, this technology is just coming to the market. We are very, very excited about how our RF charging is enabling the use cases and helping a significant part of our community to really use their devices better. Okay, with that, I would like to hand it off to Gordon. We'll do a short demo and then we'll be open for any questions you may have. Hi, Gordon.
Hi, thanks, Neeraj. Great to have everyone on board the webinar today. We actually have a 2-camera system, so although I'm speaking to you with this one camera, we're going to switch over in a second here and show you some of the other things that we're going to talk about today. As Neeraj mentioned, our technology is for wireless charging. Now, you might say that, oh, well, there's already wireless charging in my phone. Why is this unique? Our technology is unique in that it can support not only your phone and devices that are big and have a flat surface, but it can also support very small devices like hearing aids, which is what we're talking about today. And that's something that you've not really seen good options with. Now, my father wears hearing aids at his age. He's 86 now. And one of the things he has problems with is indeed switching out the batteries every few days. I find batteries all around the house, in his car, all over the place. I find them on the ground because he drops them. This is a kind of groundbreaking technology to get rid of all that hassle of changing batteries and being able to let you not worry about that anymore. So we're going to switch over to the next camera and take a look at two of the different products from our partners. The one right here is from a company called Delight. These are what they call over-the-counter hearing aids from them. And you'll note that these are the ones that go behind the ear. And all you have to do to charge them, you don't have to move batteries in and out, but you simply use this charging pad, which they give you inside the box, and you place them inside these little tiny wells that you see there. So we place it like that. There's a little button on the battery, excuse me, on the back of this charger. You click on that and it starts charging. Now this particular product from Delight, which is the partner that's based in Korea, this particular product uses just a timer on this charging pad. So after a certain amount of hours, it turns off. You wake up the next morning and those hearing aids are fully charged. You put them in your ear, you're good to go for the whole day. That's a unique technology for us, but we also have the ability to not use a timer, and I'll show you that with the next product. But one of the unique things about this is being able to also track with a software application so that you can get alerts to your phone that might alert you to, hey, you know what, the battery level is getting low in your hearing aid, or perhaps you've not put them on the charger yet. And typically my dad charges them at night, maybe around 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night. And he hasn't done that. He can set up something that shows that particular charger has not been used yet, and he can send an alert. It's all controllable by the user themselves. So that's the Delight product. We'll move over to, this is a product from a company called New Sound. This is their Primo W product. This is slightly different in that all you have to do is place them there and they start charging. There's no button to place. You simply place them there, it starts charging. Now this has a little door here, and the reason why it has that is because it has UV sanitizing. So when you close that door, it's going to actually sanitize the little earpieces there and UV sanitize them while it's charging in this charger case. That's unique to that product. It's a great feature a lot of folks are looking for, especially today with everyone constantly thinking about cleanliness and sanitization. This allows the product to be sanitized while it's recharging on a nightly basis. So it's great. So we're going to kind of switch it back over to Neeraj with some final comments, and then we're going to jump over to Q&A. So use the Q&A function in Zoom to pose any questions to us. We'll try to answer as many as we can within the time constraint, but please use the Q&A function so we can track those and be able to answer all those for you. With that, I'm going to turn it back to Neeraj.
Hey, thanks, Gordon. Before we take a few questions, let me make a few comments. If you see there's so many devices, the utility of them is limited because you might have to either charge the daily and you have to change batteries on a regular basis. They're not very flat surface, they're smaller in size. I think the RF charging is going to enable charging for those devices. And that's what we are bringing to the table. Hearing aid is one of the product category which we are working on, and we are very proud to enable that. That is the first category product. We are so passionate about bringing that kind of product to the market. With that, I think we can take a few questions. Gordon, please go ahead.
Question we got is this technology just for hearing aids, or is it for implants as well?
It's a good question. So we have targeted the behind the ear hearing aid and inside the ear. We are working on the inside the canal, and actually we are looking into implants also. That's all on the roadmap with our partners.
Yeah, just like Wi-Fi. When Wi-Fi first came out, we really only saw it in laptops, right? And our technology, although we're talking about hearing aids right now, if you go to our website, you'll see that this technology is really applicable for a lot of different products, whether it's hearing aids, and that could be implants, that could be behind the ear, in the ear canal, but it also is a technology that we see coming out for fitness bands, smart watches, smart phones, even other devices like different sensors and IoT cameras and all that kind of stuff. So it's not just for hearing aids alone. But we work with companies that will take our technology and put it into their products. Okay. Let's see here. This question is the wireless charging available for pediatric hearing aids? We have a 4-year-old son who wears them, and we worry about batteries at the daycare.
Molly, very good question. In fact, I never realized that part of the market. We always focused on the older population. Yes, I think your son can use a hearing aid, which does not require to change the batteries. And I'm going to provide this feedback to our partners that they should look into that aspect of it. I'm not very familiar. I assume the size of these hearing aids would be smaller, but our technology can enable very, very small devices. So this is a very insightful question, and I'm going to talk about that to our partners.
Okay, another question from Dinesh Kani from WAWT website. Dinesh, good to see you. Dinesh asks, can a cradle format solution, which is similar to what we see in the New Sound or maybe even the Delight product, can that be used beyond hearing aids, such as other wearables, wireless earphones, medical devices, key fobs, smart rings, etc.?
Yes, Dinesh, yes, thanks for the question. Absolutely. What we are really trying to set up is an ecosystem or product. Any new technology goes through this transition. First, the devices would be one-to-one paired, and then it'll go towards where the same charger can actually charge multiple devices from same vendor or different vendor. We are also working on standardizing this technology through Airfield Alliance. Once that is there, that'll allow different vendors to come up with transmitter solution or charger solution and the receiver solution that can interoperate with each other.
Thanks, Dinesh. And then here's a two-part question. How many recharging cycles can the batteries support? And also, after the recharging cycles are exhausted, can the hearing aid be sent for new batteries? Which is yes. Yeah, typically, the hearing aids are sent and they swap out batteries. Even the hearing aids that you use now, when they do any kind of RMA or any kind of service on them, they're always resetting the batteries. But Nirj, can you provide some details?
It varies on a different vendor. I'm not very familiar with the vendor you may have, but mostly these batteries are inside hermetically sealed device, and that can last for some time. And that's why the charging, how you charge, the profile of charge is very important to make sure you get more and more charging cycles out of it. I'm not very sure about how many cycles your battery can do. Sorry about that. But yes, if your battery is not showing you enough charge or not holding the charge, you should go to your vendor to replace it. There was also another question in the chat about the RMA. The RMA means when you have to go to your provider to replace the device or get the maintenance. It's called return maintenance authorization. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Another question is, let's see here. Are these available with my existing Phonak hearing aids, or do I have to buy a new hearing aid? What brands have this capability? And we can kind of talk about some of the ones that were announced. Niraj, I'll let you do that.
Yeah, so right now there are two devices we have announced. Like the third one we announced called Ear Technique in November. More and more customers are coming up. I do not want to kind of name the customers and their plan. Coming back to your existing device, we are actually exploring that if your existing hearing aid device has a battery door, can we actually replace that with a chargeable door? We are in the early stage of exploring that. So if you have your hearing aid device, which does not have this feature, then you have to buy a new hearing aid. And we just shared with the brand which are available today or in this quarter. And then more and more bigger names are actually adopting this technology.
Okay, another question is, let's see here. How are these programmed to fit the various individual levels of hearing loss? So this is a charging technology, and that's really a question more about the actual hearing aids and the different companies that develop hearing aids using this technology. We in our technology really is just the battery function of that. Okay, Neeraj, anything to add to that?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, let's see here. Do these chargers keep the hearing aids charged for an entire day? That's one question.
Yeah, so that's a function of your battery. It really depends upon your usage in the battery. But the way I would look at it is this: even if your usage increases or your battery is not keeping up with your usage, you should be able to charge that pretty easily during the day also, if you need to.
Okay, also, can you clarify on the power levels for this solution for RX, for the receiver devices and the transmitters?
So typical hearing aid will require for a 3 to 4 hour charging is about 25 milliwatt hour kind of number. And we transmit very low power to achieve that. All of our devices which are available in the market and our technology is certified through FCC. It's very similar to how a Wi-Fi device or your phone is certified.
Okay. And I think that brings us pretty much to the end of the cutoff time in terms of our timing here. So Neeraj, I'll let you and the folks at HLA get to the last slide here.
Yeah. So I would like to first thank you, HLA and Amanda and team, for giving us the opportunity. And if anybody has any questions on how this technology works or how we are enabling more about hearing with our technology, please reach out to us. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you so much. For any unanswered questions, we can possibly post some answers to these questions with the video after the recording. Thank you, Neeraj and Gordon, for demonstrating the Energous products today. And thank you, Erica Cook, for your captioning. Let me stop sharing. The webinar will be posted to the HLA website at hearingloss.org. Please check hearingloss.org for future webinars and web recordings and future product demos like the one you saw today. So thank you all for joining us. Please stay safe and have a good rest of your day.